Hello, hello, and welcome to the Foul Play YouTube channel. Open mic number 227. How you doing today, Susan?
Oh, I'm a little tired, but I'm here. I'm good. How are you, Jack?
I'm here too, and I'm also tired. Not as tired as you. I didn't have to work, but I get it. I understand.
Yeah.
So we're
I'm
back
just
here again. Go ahead.
I just gonna tell Justin Stricken we were just a few minutes late. Sorry about that.
Yeah, we were running our mouth, and I'm like, okay, it's 6:02. We got to get this show going. So apologies. Um, but yeah, we're back here again today, and I say back, discussing I guess one of our more favorite subjects is Gregory Allen, and of course this came out of um, just the last couple of weeks podcast, and it's really a good time to revisit anyway. Been thinking about it, been looking at a lot of the material I have, and I was talking to Doc and Sheree about this a little bit last night. Quite honestly, I've got so much. There's so much material, and look, I'm not the one who requested this stuff. Uh, the original stuff that we got came from Seeking Truth for Good. She got and I'll put it up here in a minute. She got a document, um, or some documents. One of them was 627 pages long, I think it is. I think that's
Oh,
right. Yeah, and it's just got all kinds of stuff in it. And we're going to go over some. Um, I think I've got 3 or 4 PDF files, and we're not going to look at every bit of all of them. We're going to look at some of each of them, especially the big file.
they are
So,
available in the Foul Play Library, correct?
you know what? I'll check. I meant to do that before we started. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure most, if not all of them, are available. And then in late 2021, Sunshine Christina, being being the bulldog that she is, she got a hold of some information, and not knowing, I guess, originally kind of where this trail was going, but it went back to a 1991 cold case, and just all kinds of information surrounding that, which again goes back to the depositions in the time period, because that's really when this 1991 case really blew up, and then how this was handled, basically under the table. I still don't. I still don't understand it. I want to. I want to be. I'd like to be able to put a reasonable explanation on it. Do you have one, Susan? Can you help me understand how that happened?
Yeah. They didn't
Yeah.
want anything to interfere with Stephen's conviction.
Well, I can't disagree with that.
They didn't actually serve him the warrant until after Stephen's trial was over. So, and they had it for what, 9 months or something?
No, no, that warrant was written for 27 months.
Oh,
27.
27 months.
That's
Yeah.
right. 27 months. So that in itself is a real problem for me. I
So
don't know, but
that's right around the time from Teresa's disappearance to after the trial, right? It's actually served.
what should we say?
Pardon?
What did you say?
I said that's about the amount of time from the Teresa's disappearance, or a little before you said during the depositions,
Yes.
to the time that they served it.
Yeah, the actual arrest warrant was written in September of 2005. The
Uh-huh.
depositions weren't even done. It wasn't
Okay.
served. It wasn't served until December of 2007.
So both trials were over.
Oh yeah, they were already sent off to prison.
Hmm.
So,
That's one.
Corey Zipper's got a question. Did any other law enforcement agencies have Greg Allen under surveillance? Calumet County, for instance, not that we're aware of. You know, you can put some of this stuff together, I guess, and think anywhere that this guy lived, if they found out about him, they probably were, kept an eye on him. But I'm going to go through some stuff just to give you guys some idea of the amount of different, I guess you call them interactions, arrests that happened with Greg Allen. And but we're going to go back also, and we're going to look at the time he was relatively as far back as we can go, records wise, because his juvenile records are sealed. I've never seen a copy of those, and I don't think we ever will. And that's fine. I don't really have a issue with his records being sealed, being a juvenile. But he clearly had some issues when he was. I know I found one. I was looking through that big file that happened in 1970, which would have made him 16 years old. I think he pulled a gun on somebody, or maybe it's a armed robbery with a baseball bat. I don't know. It's pretty vicious. He
Did you
beat the
say
store.
1970?
Yeah, he's born in 54. Gregory Allen was
Okay.
born in.
It's
Let
older
me
than
zoom
me.
this. Let me zoom this photo out. Yeah, he's older than me too. This photo here was a booking photo from March. Looks like March of '84.
Uh-huh.
This is just a quick one I found. There were other photos of him. So anyway, I just wanted to pop this one on just to give everybody a kind of an idea.
So he's 5'10", and Stephen is like, what, 5'4", 5'5", something like
5'5", I think. I think he's 5'5". I think that's right.
big difference.
Yeah, Alan's more of a, I guess, just a regular, more body type. I guess as he got a little older, he had a bit of a pot belly. But Steven's a shorter, stockier dude.
Right.
Clear
Yeah.
difference between identifying the two. Eye color was different, hair was different. Still kind of had that Wisconsin look. Now, for a lot of people that may or may not know, Gregory Allen was born in Hennepin County, Minnesota. That's where he was born at. And this 1991 case, this cold case, that also happened in Hennepin County, which is kind of interesting, but nonetheless,
Can be violent. Remarks.
yeah, this guy,
Yeah.
he is just one violent individual. I mean, just
Depraved and violent.
I can't really even explain how violent this guy is. It's so bad. Pull this other one up over here. Edit to the screen. Hold on, let me edit to the screen here. I wish Streamyard would let you share more than one screen at a time, but it won't. So this is as you can see, this is, if you look, I think you all can see this. This is the big file. It's 627 pages, I think it says there. Yeah. And it just goes, and I'm sorry.
It's dated the day Stephen was exonerated.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wanted to pull this up first. And if you feel like reading a little bit, I'm not going to read all 620. This is like a couple pages. And this is written by Strauss and Lehman.
No.
Investigation started, right? And it goes in, after this was, this is how the file was received. when Seeking Truth got it. It's just got report after report. It goes on and on and on. I don't know how far back I can't remember. It's probably got just a ton of stuff in it about Allen. I do know that there was a detective or some law enforcement officer in Green Bay that started doing a history of Allen, trying to put it together where all this guy had been. And that's when Sunshine Christina started really digging into it. I mean, he would move whoever he worked for. He was able to go basically over, I think, as far west as Nebraska. He was done in
Texas,
Texas, Louisiana,
Mississippi, Louisiana, yeah.
all in there. And he would stay for X period of time.
Well, the one that they thought he murdered, that was East Coast, wasn't it? North Carolina or something?
North Carolina. Yep, I think I've got that
Yeah.
one marked for us to look at, because there's a Manitowoc County report that we'll take a look at where I think it's Detective Conrad. He finds out about this. I can't remember exactly how, but he said he received information that Allen was involved, in this murder in North Carolina. And we'll talk about it when we get to it. But after
Just
that,
no
Allen.
telling how many women he attacked, raped, murdered.
Oh,
Who knows? He was all over the place. And
he was all over the place. He did so much stuff. It's crazy how much he did.
what year did he finally go to prison?
96. Yeah, 96.
So he was he was what, 40?
44, 43,
yeah.
43, 44. Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to blow this up just a little bit. If you want to read a little bit of this, there it is. There's my cursor. There we go. That's a little bit bigger. So this starts out, basically, this is starting out this investigation that Peg Luttenschauer ordered in September of 2003. And as we know, Deb Strauss and Amy Lehman were the two investigators that got assigned to this. For some reason, they're not criminal investigators at all. They're white collar and other types of investigations that they did. I think all Amy Lehman had actually done was white collar crime.
That's wild.
Yeah. So if you want to read a little bit of this, that's fine. And it goes on to another page here, but this kind of gives us a preamble to what's coming, and this will come up again later, probably next week. I don't plan on being here that long tonight, guys. It's not a real in-depth kind of thing. Look at Greg Allen, but it's deep enough that you get a real understanding of who this guy is and why he's so interesting in the whole Avery world, I guess you'd call it, how he got pulled in and all that. So if you want to read some of this, read whatever you want. If you feel like reading, I should ask you that first. Okay.
Yeah, you check.
Is that big enough, or you need me to blow it up a little more?
I can see it. Box of complaints. During July 1985, a woman was jogging on the beach just outside of Two Rivers, Manitowoc County, Wisconsin, when she was abducted, brutally beaten, and sexually assaulted. After the assault, the woman was taken to the hospital, where Manitowoc County Sheriff's Department deputies interviewed her. The victim was able to provide a physical description of her assailant. The victim also assisted a composite sketch artist from the Sheriff's Department develop a hand-drawn picture of her assailant. Once the investigators were given a physical description, photo lineup was created. The victim reviewed the composite picture, and then a short period of time later, the victim reviewed a photo lineup and identified Stephen Avery as her assailant. At a subsequent date, the victim again identified Avery as her assailant. This second positive identification was made as part of an individual lineup. Based on the victim's initial positive ID of Avery as her assailant, Avery was arrested and charged with first-degree sexual assault, attempted first-degree murder, and false imprisonment. This arrest took place within 12 hours of the assault.
There you go. So that's the first page. He goes on.
Trial was held in December 85. The prosecutor for this case was Manitowoc County District Attorney Dennis Vogel. Despite Avery having 16 alibi witnesses as to his whereabouts on the day of the assault, Avery was convicted of the crimes and sentenced to a total of 32 years in prison. In September 2003, redacted. These tests concluded that Avery was not the perpetrator of these crimes. Gregory Allen committed these crimes. Soon after the mistake became public knowledge within the Manitowoc County Courthouse, the current district attorney, Mark Rohr, started receiving information that people within the courthouse never believed these crimes were committed by Avery. These people all believed Allen committed the crime. Some of these individuals even stated to DA Rohr they made these concerns known to either the district attorney at the time, Dennis Vogel, or the Manitowoc County Sheriff, Tom Kazurek. Devil. D. Rohr expressed his concerns about these allegations to the Attorney General's office and requested an independent review. The focus of this review would be to determine if Allen was ever a suspect in this investigation, and if so, was this information turned over to the defense attorneys as part of the discovery procedure. Comments and recommendations. It is recommended this case be opened as a main case file. This review will include an examination of the Manitowoc County District Attorney's case files, the Manitowoc County Sheriff's Department's case files, along with the defense files. Interviews will also be conducted of the investigators involved in the investigation of this case, and interviews of anyone who may have indicated they thought Allen had committed these crimes instead of Avery. Dated 10/2/2003.
Yep. There you go. So right off the bat, I have oh wait, number one, I want to say hello to Cherie.
Oh, hi, Sheree. I didn't
Hello.
see.
How are you?
Hey,
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
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 Number one, I want to point out up here in the second paragraph where it says that Penny Bernstein was basically shown the composite that the tracing that the pencil did, Jean Cachet, and then she was shown a lineup and then picked Avery out.
Mhm.
See how that can be a
Totally.
problem? Yeah.
Yeah.
See how that can be a real problem? It's a real
Heck
problem
yeah.
for me.
Allen has actually been up for parole a couple of times now, hasn't he?
Oh yeah, I think so.
He'll continue to have opportunities. He hasn't been released. He hasn't been granted parole, but
No, I'd be surprised if they ever let him go.
hopefully
I,
not.
I think he would be a danger no matter what.
Oh God, yeah, for sure.
If he was
You don't
physically able,
just stop doing stuff like that. You know.
no, because he was so prevalent. He was definitely a predator. I'll
Yeah.
skip on down here and kind of show you guys though. This next report in here. It talks about where they went to.
Morris.
Yeah, they went to the Manitowoc. You can see it there in the line for their activity. They went to the Manitowoc Sheriff's Department and got documents and files and so forth. And this goes back.
And
Yep.
sorry,
No.
I was going to say number 2 is that one that was totally made up about the abduction and assault in Marinette.
That's right. That's exactly right. Because that woman got on the stand in the deposition and said, "What are you talking about?"
Right?
That was Dvorak.
Dvorak made up
Yep,
that story. Yeah.
that's right. Well, there was a report. She tried to link it to Avery. She tried to say that this woman said it was Avery that did it. And there's no proof of that at all.
Right?
So, yeah, it's pretty crazy. Anyway, like I said, this file, if you just want some, something to pass the time, put this on and just kind of skim through it. You don't necessarily even have to read it all. Let me take this down a notch here.
I started reading his file, oh gosh, long time ago. And I went through a lot of pages, but it's just like, oh my God, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, I mean, like this is the Sandra Morse fire, points gun at, except they're in the top left, points gun at, another subject. And it goes into that case, and there's a lot of statements and so forth that
It's
there's
next to
property.
Radon's pit. I didn't realize that.
Statement from Lori, Sandra Morse's statement. In the interview with Avery, which apparently was recorded. We've never heard this, but this is where he admitted that he did it. And of course, he should get in trouble for what he did. You don't get pissed off. You don't get pissed off and go run somebody off the road, pull a gun on them. You don't do that. That's wrong.
Yeah.
But then it gets off into just all kinds of stuff about Allen and on down in here. Anyway, I'm not going to go into that one. I just really wanted that front piece talking about this 2003 case because of where it led, picks us up. They didn't do anything wrong. I'll say right off the bat they did something wrong, showing her penny of the composite and then putting basically Stephen's picture that was on the composite into that lineup. That is wrong.
And the girls that worked in Vogel's office,
Oh
their
yeah.
depositions or their interviews. I mean, you read those and how the hell can you come to the conclusion that there was no wrongdoing by the DA, by Kasurik? They were told, look at Allen. We think this is Allen. We know his background. We know his looks. And it was just ignored. So, I'm so angry at the final report on that. It's
terrible.
It's horrible. Yeah. Talk about a whitewash.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we know how that ended up. But anyway, getting on into this is
That's a lot of redacting.
Well, this is when he was a minor.
Oh, 95? Well, yeah. Okay.
Well, no, I think this is just somebody that had printed it out at that time.
Oh, yeah.
No,
You wouldn't be a minor in 95. Never mind.
Right. This is locations in history. Now, like I said, he was born in Hennepin County, Minnesota, which is about, I think, it's about 4 hours, 3.5, 4 hours from Manitowoc area.
Somebody said Minneapolis was in Hennepin.
Yeah, it's in Hennepin County, Minnesota, which is basically right across the line.
Yeah.
From Wisconsin to Minnesota. So anyway, let me blow this up a little bit bigger because I need a new set of eyes. Anyway, it goes on, and then we kind of get started. Now, I'm going to tell you, I can't promise that these are going to be in total order, exact order. I didn't put this together. It is what it is. So we'll just have to deal with it as we go. So you can see 1972. It says he's incarcerated. So now he's 18 in 1972. So records can start being released. But like I said, I'm pretty sure it was an armed robbery with a baseball bat that he got arrested for when he was 16. Got thrown in jail. I'm guessing it was a juvenile facility at that time. I don't know that because again, we can't see the records. I can't tell you that for sure.
Well, that looked like quite a few incidents before he turned
Oh,
18.
oh
All
yeah,
that redacted stuff.
that's right. That's why I say he got into. You can see there. He 1, 2, 3 each
5,
dot.
6,
Each double
8.
dot is a yeah. Well, each double dot is something you can kind of tell. So 1, 2, 3, probably at least 4 or 5 instances. You know, when he was a juvenile, teenager, or whatever. I don't really know his early life, what it was like at home. Sunshine Christina may have dug into that or can remember. I don't remember it. We really kind of started more into this teenage, moving into his early life, early adulthood. So in 72 he's incarcerated. 73 he's paroled from the correctional facility at St. Cloud, Minnesota. 74 he goes into the Marines. It says 425, so that's March 25th. 74 through 76, he gets some kind of sexual deviant charges, and you can see it's doing his thing in front of small children. I'm guessing he got drummed out of the Marine Corps, but I don't know. Maybe there's more on that.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's
Yeah, I think
after
he
joined
did.
Marines.
I think he did, and I looked around for that file, but I couldn't find it. But I think we have something on that.
Now,
And then
is that
go ahead.
also around the time he was accused of
That's coming. That's coming.
Okay.
Yeah, here it is right here. 75. Homicide, suspicion, not charged. Strangulation, death. And this girl was a minor. And there's more in the report, which we're going to look at least some of it. It was not only Allen that was there. There was at least one, if not 2 others that were in that area too. And
2 other murders, you mean?
no, 2 other people involved.
Oh, it does say
At least
possible accomplice.
that's right. There's at least one other I know, and they may even talk about a second one. I can't remember. We'll get to it though. That's why it says drugs, THC, because it was kind of a known drug area. I guess you could kind of say so. 76, Peeping Tom. That's April of 76. August of 76. Felon in possession of THC, intent to deliver. It says accomplice ? So he's still dabbling in some drugs. 76 sentenced to detention because of the THC, 18 to 24 months in North Carolina. So obviously he's gotten out of Minnesota, moved to North Carolina, somewhere in that interim.
Right? Well, I think he's probably stationed in the Marines there. There's all kinds of bases.
Well, yeah. Well, it looks like he was in Maryland where he was at, because it says here 76 is the next one. November of 76, he's discharged from the Marines from Fort Holabird, Maryland.
I'm not sure.
I've never heard of that one.
Okay, discharged in November 29th of 76. So he was right. In for what, 7 months in the Marines? Doesn't say dishonorably.
No, it doesn't. I'll blow this up a little bit bigger here.
Justin says you can't handle the truth.
Great movie. And then starting in 76, he has some unknown. They don't really know where he's at. 1980.
for several years.
Yeah, not 1980, but this time he's moved into the Manitowoc region. He meets somebody. They don't stay together. 80, arrested for prowling, fined. 81, reestablishes relationship with, I guess, the one above that didn't work out. That's fall of 81. December of 81, the subject, and I don't know who, moved to Minnesota. I'm guessing back to Hennepin County. I don't know that for sure, but that's a guess. 82, somebody suspected in assault in Minnesota, so they returned to Manitowoc. 82, this is where he breaks his wife's jaw. He hit her so hard,
Nice.
broke her jaw.
Mm.
82, Two Rivers, two incidents involving, I'm guessing that's minors. 83,
Children.
his first, their first child was born, a boy. 83, April of 83, worthless checks. He was fined. 83, says his employment is with Weyerhaeuser Incorporated. That's July of 83. August of 83, Two Rivers, indecent exposure. This is the beach victim.
On
wasn't
the
one-
beach.
Okay, it wasn't 1 year prior to Penny's. It was 2 years prior.
August 2nd. Yeah, almost exactly.
Yeah. Victim said they were walking their dog. Description subject, flabby, 5'10", hair thin, almost bald, mustache, dirty high top shoes, tank top, shorts, possible boxers, no underwear, covered face with tank top, pulled down his pants and did his thing, lunged for this person, but she ran. This person works at a supermarket, used to come into, and says that I'm guessing that Allen used to come in. This person's co-workers knew his name and resided in Green Bay. Anyway, yeah, this is his first beach incident.
There he called her residents after the incident, which is what he
Yeah.
did to him as well.
Yes, that's another thing he used to do, and I think I'm sure that there's other instances where this same thing is also listed. Subject told Two Rivers Police Department detectives that his girlfriend was in the hospital having a baby.
While he's out attacking a woman on the beach.
Yeah. Yep. That's right. It prompted him to go. Yeah, exactly. And I guess that Allen was uncooperative. 83, looks like around the same time frame, he's arrested for lewd and lascivious behavior. Another 83 criminal summons issued by Manitowoc County DA, referencing this Two Rivers incident. And it's got this ... this question mark. It says jail, but I don't know what that means. We don't know.
I just want to say, Justin, of course, I understood your reference to A Few Thin Men. Sam Nicholson, you can't handle the truth.
Oh, absolutely. That's a great movie. You can't handle the truth. Son, we live in a world that has walls. You want me on that wall? December of 83, Manitowoc info received from an inmate, referencing cellmate, possible involving the North Carolina homicide. More dots released from jail. Date wise, don't know. 84, March of 84, Manitowoc, Wisconsin. Suspicious person, elderly female, parked vehicle and started walking. Located, said that
Suspect.
he had
I think it says.
suspect. Yes, I'm sorry. Suspect located and said he had a fight with girlfriend who was walking Later arrested for OAR. I'm not sure what that stands for. June of 84. Manitowoc. See, approximately something. I guess that incident started at 6:12 at approximately 23:30 hours, which is 11:30. Tells who the victims are and the witness.
Juvenile
There's
females.
two juvenile females were backing home, backing the suspect past them before in his van, turning around and
Or
driving.
times.
Yep, and taking side roads. This was about 11:30 hours. Whoever went to their house and were watching TV when they heard tires squealing. Anyway, he gives the description of that one. Shoulder length hair, baseball cap, blah blah blah. Anyway,
He is so creepy.
big time, and it's just ongoing. It never stops. It actually escalates. It's going to escalate. Anyway, that complaint goes on. 85, his daughter's born. This is January of 85. Prowler call. This is 7:20 in the morning. Prowler call. Comp is off duty. Kevin Rocklewitz. Yep. Recognizes suspect's vehicle in the area and followed. That's his footprints in the snow. There's actually a report about this. I read some of it. Goes back to victim residence. Has teenage daughter. That suspect could have been observing through the window. Suspect is ID'd by something works in area. January 26th, Prowler, window peeping. Seesaw male with ski mask on between yard and neighbor's yard. 129, Prowler, window peeping. 2-2, February 2nd, Prowler, window peeping. Above 4 incidents appear to have occurred in the same neighborhood. So he's going to go prowl and just kind of live in your neighborhood for a while. February 20th, subject arrested. DA would not prosecute. Ordinance violation only. Well, we still. Oh yeah, absolutely. And I didn't. Maybe I'll try to find that listing. Sunshine and Christina went through. It showed these various charges and then them getting reduced. I don't know if I can find out where the hell that document's at.
Why, Vogel? Why? I want to know.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, I agree. Where are we going here? March 12th, not guilty. Pleas in municipal court. Charges dropped by city. 85, Manitowoc County. Indecent exposure. This is June 23rd, 1985. June 23rd.
Getting close.
So, month and 6 days away from the attack. Indecent exposure. It tells about the victim, I'm guessing. Yeah, actually, I think we have that report. I think it's buried in one of these other numerous reports that talks about this. I'm pretty sure of it. Indecent exposure, same, 3 days later, June 26th, that was the 23rd, 26th. This is also in Manitowoc, 2:33 hours, so 2:30 in the morning. Victim sleeping on a sofa. Here's the knocking on door, then screen door opening. It goes into this and tells about this. And I remember reading this report. He cut the screen and came in, he came in, he got in, but or got to the door. She heard it, and I think she opened the front door, and he was standing there, and she screamed, and he ran. I guess she screamed bloody murder, and he ran, jumped on his motorcycle and rode off. also on 626 Manitowoc. This is a 245 suspicion person and tells about the victim.
So these are
Anyway,
just the ones he got caught on.
yes, that's right. There's others he didn't get caught. He was just a suspect, or they didn't know who it was. I'm sure he wasn't the only predator in the area, but he's the most prevalent one for sure. I'm sure he
Well,
topped the list.
he's definitely has an MO here.
Well,
Going right up to people's houses and.
there's another reason for me reading through these, and I'm not going to go too much further. But the reason I'm doing it is because Kasurik did not know who this guy was.
Yeah.
And Vogel acted like, he's not involved with this guy at all. And he was. And Kasurik had to know who this guy was. He was in and out of their jail like a revolving door. There's no way he hadn't heard that name. I don't believe it.
Right.
I'll never believe it.
Yeah. No way.
Another thing that Alan liked to do, he would take his T-shirt, whatever shirt he was wearing, and he would wrap it around his head and face if he could, but definitely around his hair and head.
Yeah.
And if he could, he'd get around his face and just have the eyes where they're peeking through.
The rape in
Yeah, well,
714. That's just 2 weeks prior.
Oh, this next one.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Totally nude.
Totally nude. Bathing suits wrapped around his head, covering face and hair completely. Gives his build there, slightly bald, slight pop belly. Talk about him having a tan and so forth.
Threatened her with a 4-inch knife.
That's right. That's right. Threatened her with a 4-inch blade. Held to the victim's throat. Victim woke up to find suspect straddling her and touching her. Ordered her to remove her clothes. She said and then she begged, and the suspect asked, "Where's your sister?" I guess it names the sister.
She knew his sister.
Yeah. Had victim lay on the floor, refused. Front door. Suspect left residence in the nude. Anyway, it goes further into that. I'm not going to read all that. It's certainly free to read it. We'll do a few more here, then we're going to break off.
And they were watching him, right?
Well,
supposedly.
But
how's he get away with this stuff by being under observation?
The loose surveillance really began around 2 weeks prior to Penny.
Oh, it says right there, 7/17.
Yeah, because they were getting they noticed these officers, they noticed that this guy's, I'm talking about the city police, they noticed that this guy's really unraveling and ramping up his prowling and peeping Tom, all this shit. And so they decided to keep loose surveillance on him. There are even instances you can read and just as you're going through these various reports that there might not be a specific report about Allen, but these various officers knew that they were watching, and if they saw his car out somewhere, they would jot it down. Saw Allen or whatever, saw individual here driving this car and the time. July of 85, surveillance from 7/17 to 8/7.
8/2.
Oh yeah, 8/2. Yeah, I can't always see it. So yeah, they would drive by, try to see where he was, where his car was, jot it down.
Isn't it interesting that nothing for 3 months after Penny's attack?
Yeah.
Where'd he go?
My guess is he was out of the area doing his thing. I don't think he ever stopped, ever.
Right, I don't either. No.
So we move up to October. as Susan said, we dropped basically a couple of months here, nothing, 3 months, whatever. Prowler, those are victims, subjects, 30-year-old, anyway, he goes into that. Have another one in October, Manitowoc.
5 days later.
Yep. Let's move on from that and see what we get. And there's some more off time. Again, there's this big break in time here away from Manitowoc. We go from, I apologize for scrolling back up, October of 85 to March of 86. And I'm going to bet you he was out of the area. I'm going to bet we could.
Well,
if we
yeah,
dug,
Christina said he moved around a lot
he did.
with his work. Whatever
That's right.
he was doing.
Was that Weisenhower, whatever the hell that company worked for? That's exactly right. He did.
Mm-hmm.
I wish that sergeant could have been just dedicated for Green Bay. They could have contacted these various places where Allen set up shop for, a few weeks or a month in these various other jurisdictions, states or whatever, to see if there was some Prowler, Peeping Tom, attempted sexual assault kind of cases that they didn't have a suspect for. I'll bet you that there are multiple cases that happened. I bet there are.
Yeah.
This next one's back to 85 December. Again, like I told you, some of the stuff's not exactly in order. Vandalism to vehicle. Now we're back up to March 86. Employment terminated with Weisenhower, whatever the Weyerhaeuser. May of 86. Another report of suspicious persons. A few weeks later, Manitowoc. Victim fell asleep on sofa watching TV, woke up and turned off TV. Heard noises, suspect standing.
Jesus, how scary is that?
Yeah, in her living room. He told her not to scream or you can kill her. Yeah, it's just, guys, he's a monster. July of 86, winter peeping. Another July of 86. What's this one? Information. Oh, this is just an information report. Okay. March of 86, resisting obstruction, battery to police. He gets convicted. It looks like when.
Yeah, beat up a cop.
Yeah. Criminal damage. There's
487.
Yeah, there's not much there. I can't really comment too much on it. Sometimes 86, Manitowoc. Discon acquitted. Oh, it's discontinued and he got acquitted. Okay. March of 87, he goes to Dodge Correctional for something. July of 89, mandatory release date. Subject released on this date. And I'm going to look. Yeah, I'm pretty much fixed to end it probably right here. Something in Appleton, August of 89. It doesn't really say what. September of 89, registers for parole in Green Bay because of his employment. Sometime more in 89, I'm guessing around that same date. It looks like he's got his location. He's down in Alabama in this one.
Michigan, Alabama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Anyway, I'm going to end that one right there. That's enough. That's enough of that. But again, I wanted to give everybody a real taste for, and there's much more. There's much more. It's crazy.
Prolific motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
Excuse my language.
I think no, you're fine. I think you were being actually more than kind.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. He's a real piece of work. Anyway, I'm gonna look here and see if we've got any questions. I haven't been watching because I've been reading on the other monitor. I see one there from Danny. Imagine if Manitowoc City took the Bernstein call, they would have thought Allen, not Avery. Probably.
uh-huh.
But as you read deeper into this case file, actually there are a ton of reports with Manitowoc County too. It's not just the city police, because it's got actually these different reports actually have which department it is, city or MTSO. Hey, Charlotte Dowling, thanks for dropping by. Appreciate it.
I saw Scooby and Sapper in there.
Awesome. Yep, that's all the questions I see. I don't see anything else. Yeah, I can't disagree with Danny. If city police had been on that as much as they were around that guy and the reports, I think they're. I can't even say that there were actually more reports in the city than there were the county. I can't say that. I can't, because there's so many from the county too that I know that I ran across when I was looking through these over the last several nights. There's a lot from the county. So anyway, this file here was an email file of some kind that I can't explain what it is. This is the way it was named. I'm guessing somebody wanted some records on Allen, various records, whatever. So it was an email file, had this PDF attached to it. So if that makes any sense at all.
It's too small to see what's on
Yeah, I'm gonna blow it up. I apologize.
there. He had 2 children, right? Or did he have more? He had a son and a daughter.
Son and daughter.
Right.
Yeah, Christina said last week she thought that there was a third, but I think it was only a son and a daughter. I don't remember a third child. I don't. So if there was, it's something I'm not remembering. Anyway, this one starts out. Where the hell's the date at? Got a bunch of different case numbers. It shows his date is yeah, this is where I saw it, and I don't know if you can see it here or not. Up in this date of birth, that's up to the upper right. Date of birth in place on 1754, Hennepin County, Minnesota. And to think, this 1991 cold case is right back there in that county is kind of freaky if you think about it. This I guess is detailing various cases because I see different dates here: 80, 83, 80. I'm not exactly sure what that is, but regardless. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop this off the screen because I'm going to scroll, and I don't want to just scroll a million miles an hour here in front of everybody. I'm going to pop this off the screen so I can just do this kind of offline here to the side. There's a couple of reports we're going to look at.
Danny Burfan has a question. He says,
Okay.
wasn't there even a call from the city after the Bernstein case that Allen might be of interest?
You
mean a different a different assault? Different victim?
Yeah. The only call I remember is he taunted Penny after the assault. I know that Avery had been arrested, but she reported this to Kasurik, and he's like, "Oh, don't worry about it.
You got the right guy.
Got the right guy." That's right. Got the right guy.
Does he mean when the Bergner contacted Kusurk about, hey, no, it could be this guy during the investigation or whatever?
Right. That wasn't after the case, maybe after the
No,
assault. Yeah.
right.
You just that's it, he says. 3 RAB4s. Why was Allen not under surveillance the day Penny was assaulted? They were just
Because
too busy.
yeah,
Too many calls.
again, you just have to remember he wasn't under a 24-hour surveillance. It was loose surveillance. They wanted him basically monitored,
Yeah.
but
Although it should have
they,
been the other way around with what he was doing,
no doubt,
don't you think?
they should
Yeah.
have been they should have been tailing his ass everywhere. They should have been
Yeah.
watching him. But again,
Absolutely.
resources for their county, city, police. I don't know how that pie gets cut up, but we know that a lot of police departments really struggled in the 80s for money and manpower.
Yeah.
Was
So that
it,
would have been
sorry,
no. Go ahead.
was this just somebody speculating, or did I hear that they were called to a car accident or something, or some kind of accident, and that's why nobody was around? Or was that just somebody guessing that maybe that's what happened?
I remember hearing that.
Well, I've heard that before, but I don't know that for positive. But remember the podcast we listened to last week, because this is where all this really originated. Penny herself's talking and said on the day that this assault occurred, they got called away on other calls. They were too busy. They couldn't keep track of him. She said that. So maybe there was a car accident and other calls, and so they were just stretched thin and they just couldn't monitor him.
Yeah. Very odd timing.
Well, I wonder. I used to want to put something to that, and maybe there is, but I don't know. I know that Manitowoc City Police didn't have that many cops. I mean, even Manitowoc County didn't have that many either. I mean, they had a lot more, quite a bit more. But I'm thinking that the city only had like maybe at that time maybe 8 or 10 full-time cops. It wasn't that many at all. Yeah. And of course, they had, probably a couple secretaries and chief police and that kind of thing. So it was much smaller. And it's just a shame that they couldn't afford to have full-time surveillance as much as this guy had ramped up in the preceding. I mean, it's so clear, hindsight's 2020. I guess you can look back at it and say, well, they didn't know.
Yeah.
But I think they did kind of get the fact that this guy was really going after it. He was just guy was crazy. I mean, just go in somebody's house basically with your pants off and wake some female up. He's clearly been watching and making sure a female was in there because that's what he was going after. So he's been he's been watching the house, right?
Yep.
I mean, that to me. So that you got this stalking, peeping Tom thing going on already for God knows how long.
Mm-hmm.
They had to know these cops had to know that too. But I'm sure again, resources, how many people they have, and all that. So anyway, I scroll on. I fast forwarded up to page 42, and I want to blow this up a little bigger so Susan and I can see it. Cherie's still young enough; she can probably see it anyway. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Just a year behind you, Jack.
Okay, damn it. Okay, all right. I'm trying to find the date here. Yeah, this is one of the ones we read earlier. The complaint reported that the male subject had broken into the blank house at and attempted a sexual assault on the daughter. He tells the name. The complainant advised that this girl was near his home. Tells the officer assigned, Detective Bergner, we know that name, requested and called at 3:44 hours. So this is way up in the morning. MTSO, Manitowoc County Sheriff's Office, K9 unit was requested and called at 3:49 hours. And it goes on to talk about this case, and I guess this complainant had seen Allen run off in which direction, and that nobody else really had followed that path and contaminated the possible scent. So they got a canine in there to try to run him down. I guess pretty quickly, but anyway, I wanted to highlight that one because this goes hand in hand with just some of the
What was the
highlights.
date on that, Jack?
I think this one was in the middle of July. I'm trying to find the date.
Do you think
July,
it was just before
right,
Penny?
no, it is. It's right here in the middle. If you can see number 14, July
Not showing.
14th.
We can't see it.
Oh my God, I'm so dumb. I'm over here just looking all at it, and I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Right here at number 14, July 14th, 1985. So 15 days prior.
Did you scroll or something?
I'm sorry?
Do you need to scroll or is this it?
Oh, no. I was just showing you the date. You see it?
Oh, no.
Oh.
Oh, I see it now. 7:14. Yeah.
Oh, you're lagging. You're lagging behind.
No, I'm in Streamyard.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, it talks about that particular assault, and then I'm going to go up to page. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. I'm sorry. Before we get there, it shows the area, and it really goes into some pretty good detail about this particular assault.
And it was 3 days after that they started surveilling him.
Yeah,
July 17th.
basically right immediately after that. So we get up to page 50, which talks about the surveillance, which is exactly what you said. I wanted to point that out. And you can see in the upper left up there, this is a city police report. And Detective Richard Bray. Now, I know I've heard that name before, and I just, I swear he switched over to the county, but I was thinking about that when I saw this earlier. And of course, it lists Allen's name. You feel like reading just like, I can blow this up a little bit. You feel like reading a little bit of this?
Sure. It says this department has compiled several complaints recently concerning prowling, window peeping, indecent exposure, and sexual assault, ranging from January of 85 to 7/14/85. In each case, Gregory Allen, who presently resides at such and such, has been listed as a suspect. Past record and intelligence concerning Gregory Allen reveals he is a dangerous individual with the potential for violence. Recent complaints involving Allen on file are as follows. 1, 2, 3, 4. What's that there? And the most recent, number 5. Starting this date, shift commanders should assign various officers the task of a surveillance of 1016 South 14th Street, and more particular, all officers must be aware of the vehicles being used by Gregory. In the event they are observed parked in any part of Manitowoc, they should immediately start making checks, particularly of the backyards for suspect Allen. It's not necessary to have a man stationed at Allen's house continually. However, periodic checks are in order to determine if he would be using any of his vehicles. It's not known at this time if Allen uses or has access to a police monitor. Therefore, the night shift should consider using some type of something, a code, I think. In June, Allen was arrested on a motorcycle operation violation, and at that time, he was operating an 84 Harley Davidson, color unknown at this time, license number. He has also previously operated a 1978 Chevrolet Coupe bearing license number. I made a check with WRAG Motor Vehicle Department. They advised the following vehicles are listed to Gregory Allen at his address. The 83 Kawasaki Cycle, 86 plate number, VIN number, and a 1980 Oldsmobile, Wisconsin plate number, VIN number. It is suspected Allen will be back to his activities in the near future. Much attention should.
Yeah, that's kind of hard. You can't hardly read it.
Yeah, should write to the above and any reports of suspicious activity, such as window peeping and indecent exposure. Officers assigned to make the surveillance checks should add the date and time they made the checks. And based on the times of past complaints, it would appear Allen has been most active between the hours of midnight and 5 a.m. Sergeant Halverson will be placing a BARDA alarm in the Jean Butta's residence, which she will use in an emergency situation where she cannot get to her telephone. Detective Wittenkamp is assisting Sergeant Halverson in setting the unit up, and the unit number and code will be added to this report by one of those officers.
That's enough of that. And that name that he read there, that but is or how you pronounce their name, that was that last report we read. That was pretty extensive.
He was in the house naked. You ready for
Yes, yes, yes.
Why didn't they go pick him up and arrest him?
Well, it was an attempted.
Well, one of them said he actually raped her.
Yeah, I don't know about that other one. Why they
I'm
didn't.
not sure which one that was.
Yeah, but so they really ramped it up at this point, and I feel strongly that this information was shared with the county police. Why wouldn't it be? They know he's operating in the county as well, not just within the city limits.
Sure.
It's
Yeah.
ridiculous to think otherwise. Anyway, that's. I mean, I can.
Well, he was when he
step-
attacked Penny, and the beach attack prior.
That's right.
It's right near the same area. That was county.
That's right. That's right.
It was Zurich. Zurich knew who Allen was.
Anyway, if you go down this report, it lists different dates and 7/18, 7/19. You can read it if you want. I've read through quite a bit of it. They're just keeping a check on him. Here's another Prowler report, and then a statement, from the victim. Suspicious person report. Sorry, I went too quickly. That's the OAR for Allen. Another Prowler report. Anyway, we're not going to go through all that. This is just to give a real good introduction for those that really kind of thought they knew Allen and maybe hadn't really read through a lot of the file. And there are numerous files. It's crazy. It's insane to me how he got away with it for so long. And this is what brought up, a lot of us thinking, what the hell is going on between Gregory Allen and Vogel. What the hell's he got? Why did he keep reducing these damn charges?
Right. Or
I don't know how many times.
trying to
I,
get him out of
yeah,
that one situation, at least.
I don't know. I think Christina and I tried to do a count one time of just exactly how many times that a charge would be basically a felony, even if it wasn't an A felony. It was, a C or a D, something that's going to carry. He's going to get punished, and it would get reduced to a freaking misdemeanor, and he'd have to pay maybe $150
Fine.
or a $300 fine, or I think a couple of times he had to pay a $500 fine. I mean, he got slapped a little bit monetarily, but he's still free to go out and do it some more.
Even to this day, you see every day, for God's sake, you see, SA perpetrators getting off so lightly, charges being dropped like that, down to misdemeanors. And, I mean, it's a way of life in this country. Not as much as it used to be, but it still is.
Yeah, I agree with that. But it brings up what the hell's going on with what was going on with Vogel and Gregory Allen.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I can't figure it
Ellen
out.
has dirt on Vogel. I mean, that's sure what it looks like. It's got some kind of dirt on him. Or they're dating.
Or he's got some photos that could be embarrassing. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm not saying he does at all.
Right.
I just know how it looks.
Yeah, definitely looks that way.
Yep.
I mean, he convicted Stephen Avery instead of him. He knew damn well it was Gregory.
Yep. So for next week, we're going to move forward in time. We're going to talk about the 2005 depositions from a time frame wise. We're not going to read through them. That's not what I mean. Time frame wise of what was going on, and we're going to be showing information. I'm going to be showing information about Allen, basically how this cold case was basically showed it reared its head again, and talking about the timing of the depositions. And a big part of this is who knew within Wisconsin. Did they keep that information tightly wound? I think they did. I mean, did somebody like
the press didn't know?
Oh no.
That's for sure.
No. It's somebody like, some of their AAGs, assistant attorney generals. No, I'm sure the attorney Peg knew. I'm sure probably people in the upper crust of the government, the governor's office, and a few of those higher individuals.
Yeah.
Did Kratz know? Did he somehow get word about this? Other prosecutors? I just don't know.
Yeah.
And we tried to find out. I know that Christina tried harder than I did, and I tried, but it was just like peering off into a black hole. No answers.
Yeah. Much more.
Well, it was a cold case. Those were a big deal. Sometimes they're still a big deal. Even to this day, they're a big deal. People get out of jail, and an old case, and it comes up. I mean, that Japanese guy has been in jail since 67 or 68. He got freed. DNA freed him recently. It's crazy. Yeah, it is
over
crazy.
50 years.
Yeah. So anyway, Cherie says, I wondered if Allen had compromising info on Vogel, and that's why Vogel always had his back. Well, Cherie,
You wonder. You sure do wonder.
Well, I watched the Gacy, one of the Gacy documentaries, and they talked in there about that's kind of what he did with some of the law enforcement and the political people around. He would like, I can't remember what he did, but something that they, and they would all get together and do it, and then he would, you better not tell, that sort of thing. Like showing, having parties with, I don't know how to say it, but just bad stuff. Like, women
having
men,
swingers party.
something like that along those lines.
Gotcha. Well, it's possible. Can't really completely discount that.
I always think of the club that Bagata talks about.
Well,
They're somehow involved in that.
Yeah, that kind of made me think of that too. Because the way Dave, I can't remember his last name.
Bagata.
Yeah, he said that when he was first introduced to the idea, they were showing him some pretty dirty stuff,
Yeah, men on men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can't say that kind of stuff doesn't go on because I'm well aware that it does. What do y'all think about Carol's one word answer here? Informant.
Yeah, we've thought of that too, but informing on what?
Yeah.
I mean,
Usually that kind of stuff is kept confidential, but he's not even in the system as a CI. I mean, it'd really be difficult for him to be labeled that way. But
say for
we've seen-
instance, Vogel was in this club and doing such things, and Allen knows about it and threatens to out him.
Well, it's possible. It's certainly possible.
It's possible. Just speculating.
I don't understand it how that could have went for as long as it did. All these women and the three that we know of that gave depositions, there could have been others for all we really know that were telling Bogle and Sheriff Kasoric, you got the wrong guy. You're picking on the wrong guy.
Mm-hmm.
So
anyway. It occurred to me tonight, just thinking, Kasoric, it's possible that, he didn't people have thought that maybe Kasoric hired Allen or got him to do this. Maybe Kasoric was waiting, knew it was going to his next big incident. The next time that happens, let's lay it on Avery. He looks enough like him that, I don't know.
Well,
more speculation.
True, but what we know about Kasoric and a lot of the way he operated, I can't discount that completely. I'm not saying it did happen, but he definitely wanted to throw the book at Stephen. There's no doubt about it. And of course, Andy, we don't know if Vogel knows P. Diddy. We're not sure. Maybe.
Probably been to a few freakouts. What are they?
I tell you, I'm not gonna say too much. I'm gonna tell you that case is gonna get extremely ugly. You wait and see. I don't know who all is going to be named, but that's coming. That press conference. Who all watched that press conference? That lawyer gave, but he's talking about all these people I think he's representing 100 people. Isn't that right, Susan?
Oh, 120. This new guy. 120.
Yeah. These people are naming names. They filed this I guess, class action or whatever civil lawsuit. I mean, I don't know how much money P. Diddy's got, but it's over $1 billion, right?
And a lot of them could be piling on and just looking
That's
for a
right.
payday.
That's right.
It's hard to say with somebody so wealthy and famous and such
Oh,
salacious allegations that it brings out the worst in many.
I'd almost bet on it. That there's
Yeah,
some pile
that
on.
some
They're
of
gonna have
them
to get
are
rid of them.
not legit. Yeah. Yeah, you gotta bring receipts with that kind of thing, I'd say.
Yep. That's right.
But I'm sure a lot of them are legit. I'm guessing, speculating
Oh,
again.
I'm sure they are. I'm sure they
Until
are.
proven guilty, right?
Well, I don't think you have 1,000 plus bottles of baby oil around just for this casual massage. Is that creepy, or do you just go down to Costco and get a couple of
So
pallets of baby
creepy.
oil?
So creepy.
I mean, stuff that
And
a
he's
lawyer
part of
named
something bigger. Well,
that
they say that the guys that brought him in the business, those huge moguls, did the same thing to Diddy, and he was
really. I did
coming
not
up.
hear
Yeah.
that.
What are their names?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know.
Huge music moguls. I can't think of the name right now. There's a couple of them that reportedly did it to Diddy. So that's where he learned. Clive Davis, one of them. Yeah. There's another one too. Thank you guys. Hi, Scoob.
Clive
Nice to
Davies,
see
is
ya.
that the name you're looking for?
Yeah, I think it's Clive Davis. Might be Davies.
Oh, yeah. Well, one of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah. That case is going to get ugly. I guarantee it.
Mhm. It is. I'm just glad I can't sing.
You can sing.
Yeah, right.
I've heard you sing.
You
We've
have
got the
no.
record. I most certainly have. The 12 Days of Christmas.
I didn't sing that.
You didn't?
No, I wrote it. I didn't sing it.
Who was singing?
That was what's her
Your
name?
friend?
She left. She was in Foul Play. She left shortly after I wrote that, after she recorded it.
Oh, okay. You wrote it and she sung it.
Yeah.
Okay.
She
Okay.
sang and played the guitar. I just wrote the lyrics.
Zoe can sing. I've heard her. She can
Zoe
sing.
has a beautiful voice. Yes.
She does. Anyway, that's all I've got for tonight. Next week, like I said, we're going to look at several aspects, mainly starting with the depositions when the information came in. Deposition time. We're not looking at the depositions. When the deposition started and when this cold case, we're going to go through more detail that paperwork and how this was handled as best as we can tell. We don't have everything. We can't get everything because there's some questionable entries within his paperwork that I don't understand. That I know that I tried to find out. So did Sunshine Christina, and we basically got nowhere. So, with that said, you guys got anything to add?
Well, I see 3 Rep Force has been asking about I'm not sure where his first question was, but there was a cell phone tower near Vogel Farm. Was it White Lawn? I think Vogel is long gone from Manitowoc, like 2005.
Oh yeah, he moved in 80. He moved in 86. He quit.
Shortly after, yeah.
Yeah, he
He
quit his
said,
post.
didn't Vogel have a farm near where Teresa was last seen?
I don't know if it was Bogle or somebody that was related to Bogle. It was one of the two. I can't remember, but it was that farm was really close to that Whitelaw Tower.
Mm-hmm.
I guess if you go out and go down 147 not
I
that
remember
far.
that, but I
Yeah.
don't remember exactly whose it was.
Yeah, I can't remember, but regardless, the Whitelaw Tower also plays a part of all that too. So anyway, Cherie, you got anything to add before we jump out of here? Cherie must have stepped away.
Yeah,
Should say
I've got,
somebody had to be
my
there.
daughter's here.
Oh,
so-
sorry.
Oh, no, you're
Moving.
fine.
No problem.
No problem at all.
Enjoy your daughter
Yep.
while she's
Enjoy your family time for sure. Absolutely. All righty, I'm going to end it here with Gregory Allen on the screen. We'll pick it back up. We're going to add some more information about Gregory Allen, and who knows if this will get posted further in other social media. Try to find out. Yeah, this is a question that I've really been burning to ask. I guess I'll let the cat out of the bag. Did Kratz know in 2005 about this cold case? Had he heard rumblings through the? I don't think he'll answer my question. Maybe he will. Maybe he won't. But did he know about this cold case hit in 2005 with Gregory Allen? Now, of course, this was before the Halbach case, but the arrest warrant was written in September of 05. So it wasn't that long. The DNA had been extracted from DNA. I mean, DNA had been extracted from Allen.
It very well may have come up after Hubbub.
Oh, the case broke. Maybe.
Yeah. Afterwards, I'm like, hey, Kratz.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it was only like a month before. But
I can't remember the date in September, but I think it was like middle of September sometime.
month and a half before.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right.
So-
Anyway, all right, we're going to get out of here. Thank everybody for coming along and listen to some information about Gregory Allen, because he plays such an interesting part in all of this with the 85 case. And then other events that happened that, again, intertwine. He gets right back into it in the 2005 case. Some people want to say there's no connection. The hell there's not. That's my reply. The hell there's not a connection.
Yeah.
If it wasn't a big deal, then why wasn't this publicized? Cold case gets solved. It is none other than, and we heard none of that. And I've looked. There's nothing reported. Anyway, that said, appreciate everybody. Gonna jump out of here and have something to eat, watch some TV for a little while, and all that kind of jazz. With that said, I'm gonna tell you, this has been a Foul Play production.